you've been a pioneer, a leader in serving Vietnamese users with your extensive product portfolio from social media, social network, chat app, gaming, and cashless payments. So in terms of digital payments, would you please share with us what is the challenges in pushing Vietnam into a cashless societies, and how does your business, VNG and Zalo Pay, address those challenges? Over to you.
Okay. Thank you. I think so. Normally, when people being asked this kind of questions, what is the challenges? Then people like me gonna say, okay, it's hard to really change consumer habit. It takes a long time. It's hard to change the merchant habit. So you hear that a lot. But I think I often looking at the problem we face from a view of a product technology person. And I often said to the team that the reason that people haven't adopted cashless payment is because we haven't we haven't been able to really come up with the greatest product that really make people say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna use it. So I think in another way, the challenge of convincing people to use cashless payment is the function of technology company like VNG, Zalo Pay, or like Grab, who be able to really develop great product that people use and say, you know what, this is superior to my, whatever that I'm doing. And then over time, people are gonna say, I'm gonna adopt it. And I think that is the context of where we are sitting here today, right? So we build products, we build technologies, and the collaboration is to bring people the joy of, ordering a food, ordering a taxi, ordering a motorbike, and then going to the whole experience and walk off and without any worry about payment or change or anything else. So to some extent that's how I think about the challenge, and that's why we still gonna have a lot of work to do.
So would you please share with us the foundations of this partnership and what's so special about this? What is so different from other partnerships in the market? Mr. Minh, please.
Okay, so actually, I think this whole thing started about 7 years ago. I first met Anthony, the founder of Grab, in Singapore in 2016. I still remember kind of it's a small office, and I was very inspired by the first meeting because he told me that he set up, I think Grab is founded around 2012 in Malaysia, and then after 2 years, 2014, 15, and he moved the headquarters from Malaysia to Singapore. And there's two reasons. Number one is he wants to expand the business regionally. And then number two is that, simply in Malaysia, there's not enough talent to kind of help to build his visions. So I came back quite inspired, and I remember talk to Khai, another co-founder of VNG, that we should move our family and our headquarters of VNG here, but obviously that didn't really happen. But from that initial meeting, then I kind of keep a very good relationship with Grab and the leaderships. So we occasionally meet to different kind of venue, and then I also become a good friend with Minh Ma, the president of Grab. And I think that every time I saw Minh Ma, I said, come on, we have to integrate Zalo Pay with Grab, right? What are you guys waiting for? And then I think that finally last year, in one of his visits to Vietnam, he said, okay, let's do it. And then I think that's how this whole thing starts. So I think number one, everything in business for us, I think it starts with trust and relation and friendship, right? We really trust each other. We share the common views on how technology should change people's life, and then we really kind of, respect how each other works. I think that's the first thing. And I think the second thing is, along the line of what I talked in the first question, but I want to expand it a little bit. I think when we built Zalo Pay, and this is entirely new, right? We never really do payment before, and we never really expect payment to be this difficult. It's definitely not easy. And even today, I think that I just talked to Nam, one of the product leader of Zalo Pay, and say like, okay, we keep learning new things. This year we are learning entirely different thing, and it's maybe very different from what we learned over the last 5 years. So, it's something that is hard and is difficult. But I think one of the foundation of how we do not just payment, but a lot of other things in VNG is we always looking for partnership to expand the footprint and introduce the technology to the consumers. So I think with Zalo Pay, obviously one of the things that we do early on is to integrate with many of the products within VNG, especially Zalo, which kind of something that VNG is very proud of, because everyone with a smartphone in Vietnam and probably have Zalo installed. And then I think that we have one of the very good product experience of Zalo Pay on Zalo as well, and that has been both our pride and also one of the key kind of direction that we push. But at the same time, we integrate Zalo Pay with many of other kind of larger platform in Vietnam. I think that we are one of the early integrator for payment for Lazada, and then later on we integrate with kind of the like of Baemin and TikTok and Grab. So that kind of the second part of the strategy is to partnership and patiently kind of making sure that we build great product together with partners. So I think that, for me, that's two things, right? Trust, which leads to partnership, which leads to success, I hope.
Thank you. Over to you, Mr. O'Hara.
Sure. I think you used the right term, which is common vision. I think to me that is the most important and fundamental requirement for a deep partnership, not just a transactional partnership. And I really like how you talk about constant learning and how you expand your services over time, right? I think this is very in line with the Grab story, starting with Grab Taxi, Grab Car, Grab Food, Grab Mart, Grab Financial, and so on, right? And similar to you, we've gone through many pains in that learning journey as well. So I think we have that common background as well, but coming back to the common vision, I think what's very important is that we're both key believers in tech enablement for driving digital inclusion. Obviously, cashless payments is a very critical part of that. Grab's mission has always been about empowering driver partners, empowering merchants and micro entrepreneurs to find a way to earn and create a better income and opportunities for themselves on our platform. So I see this partnership and this relationship as another way of adding to that and creating that seamlessness that I mentioned before, which drives more loyalty, more use, more stickiness, and in turn filters down as better earning opportunities for our partners. So that vision is really the most critical part to me.
So let's take a look at corporate point of view, because we have been talking about how we serve our users in Vietnam. So in terms of corporate, what does this partnership mean to you? How do you envision this partnership into your corporate strategy? Over to you.
So I think I can be more pragmatic, right? I hope that the majority of Grab users are going to use Zalo Pay to pay. So that's my hope. And I think beyond kind of I think that each of us going to have, obviously we have both our business objective and some of them align in the short term in terms of how we want the growth of the platform, the user experience, the enablement of different products and services through the partnership. And then also we align on the long term in terms of how we see technology continue to evolve and change and help to drive hopefully hope to help a little bit how the economy gonna transform, gonna grow, and then make people life better. So I think that both, we can talk about that all day. What I also hope is that, like I said before, partnership is one of BNG's very strong DNA. So I hope that we can evolve this partnership, obviously not just with payment in Vietnam. We can evolve it with other things in Vietnam and also in the region as well. So because again, I think that even though it takes 7 years from the first time I met Anthony to an official kind of product partnership, I hope that the next iteration gonna take a much shorter time frame, right? Because
you and me both.
Yeah. So once we know each other already and we're able to know, work closely, and then it's help to iterate. And I think that how partnership should work. And then I think that we, so let's make that happen then.
Agree, and really we're just the faces up on the stage, right? But I think we're supported by really strong teams who move fast, innovate quickly, and I think that will be a key enabler of that accelerant, let's say, of the partnership.
Yeah. So to second that, I think that I just want to thank specifically, right? Number one is I know that many people working on a partnership, but I still remember one of my first discussion is with Han. So she also a some person that I know from a long time, from seeing her SBC day, and kind of and also the trust and the relationship help with the partnership as well. And then obviously on the Zalo Pay side team is the Chi and the team work very, very hard to make this whole thing happen. So thank you. I mean, from a user perspective, because I just shared with Ale, right? From the last 2 months, I'm really happy using Zalo Pay in Grab, because kind of so.
Yeah, thank you so much. So to recap, is the core of any successful partnership is to share the same vision, to serve, to have the same relevance between the two parties, and most importantly, a trusted friendship. So thank you so much for your time. I believe it's been a very fruitful discussion that we here, that many of us here, that is a creator and operator of consumer app, really, really appreciate. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.